trying every day. I fall down, make mistake. I'm trying every day. Next time that make mistake. I'm trying every day. I fall down, make mistakes. Get back up.
Alright, gang, had a rough start to the day. I can't even cap. I'm definitely a morning person, but I was struggling to get up today because somebody got off late last night. And you know when you like unwind, take care of hygiene, do homework and stuff as soon as you get off work, and then you're like, well, I feel like I didn't have enough time to myself, like me time to relax and unwind. So I stayed up late as fuck, unintentionally watching anime. I am on One Piece right now. I'm at the arc where Luffy is trying to save Big Brother Ace, so clutching my pearls because I'm like, please don't kill Ace, like he's such a great pirate. But if you know, you know. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to be transparent in this video and talk about how major depressive disorder been eating a girl up. Like, I'm talking from the shoulders, bitch. Like, knocking a bitch out left and right. I mean, God is so good all the time. All the time, God is good. And for those of y'all annoying motherfuckers that like to be like, oh, don't declare things over your life, blah, 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 which I understand. Like, there's power in the tongue. But if a licensed professional who went to both a bachelor's level and master's level, in some cases a doctorate level of education for psychiatry, tells me I have something, I'm going to be a little bit inclined to believe them, you know, because they're not like just throwing things out the ass and just pulling it out the back of their mind like, yep, I'm just going to say she has this. No, like, they're having me open up about different events in my life from childhood, whether they're traumatic, whether they're positive, negative, and they're making deductions based off of these things, behavioral characteristic things and experiences that I explained to them. So mind your business. For my neurodivergent kings and queens and those of y'all who actually acknowledge mental health illnesses and issues and mental health in general, all health is wealth, mental health included, this is for you guys. I've just been really homesick and just really down, but it's like growth comes in uncomfortable situations. And like I spoke to one of my old mentors, you cannot live in fear, point blank period. You just can't live in fear. And firm believer of fear nobody but God regardless. But I've just been really down. I've always struggled with depression and anxiety my whole life. I was classified with generalized anxiety, but I really feel like it's more social anxiety because it flares up in social situations more than anything. Always gotta have my AirPods in, be locked in, whether I'm at the gym, in the grocery store, in the mall, walking in an outlet mall and passing. And the thing about my depression is it's high functioning depression. Now, depression shows up different on everyone. Some of you may already know this. Some of you may be like, what the hell are you talking about? But for instance, some people may have their depression show up as they can't show up for themselves in terms of they may start slacking on personal hygiene or just like doing self-care things or beautification things, X, Y, Z. They may like not be able to lock in on assignments if they're a student and fall behind, or just not do the things that they love to do, hobbies, whether it's journaling, for myself, reading, writing. Some people may just, you know, just stop showing up for themselves in the ways that equate to self-care. I'm not one of those girlies, and no disrespect to those who are. Like, it shows up different on everyone. I have high functioning depression, so for me, I feel like I overcompensate, and at times I may go through manic episodes where I'm just like making random purchases, and I'm like, I'm gonna splurge on myself so I feel better. And I'm not gonna lie, splurging on myself makes you feel better, especially if it's at Kids Foot Locker. If you know, you know. But or I may just keep myself overly productive, like work, gym, school, assignments, repeat, like taking care of grocery shopping, taking care of, you know, cleaning around my apartment, taking care of laundry, organizing files, just always on the go, always a busy bee, always trying to get my ducks in a row, check something off my list, never really taking a moment to rest. And I'm still trying to learn that it is okay to have R&R in your life, rest and relaxation, because I'm the type of person, I feel very guilty if I like want to take a nap, or if I want to just rest in any type of way, like when I'm just chilling watching anime, or if I doom scroll a little bit, or if I'm like, you know, just doing things that aren't, I guess, necessarily considered productive. It's like, damn, You wasting time. What are you doing? Like, you only got one life type of thing. Like, and it's like, yo, you don't always have to be on the go. Like, yes, you're chasing financial freedom, you're chasing financial stability, but you don't always have to be on the go so extremely. So that's what I'm just trying to teach myself right now at this stage of life in this current season. But man, your girl has been sleepless nights that's coupled with insomnia and me not being so consistent with my Seroquel, but I'm getting back right, I promise you, to my Seroquel girlies and my medication management girlies. And also, when there's a lot of things on my mind, I just can't really sleep. And I've just been like crying a lot. I've always been somebody who cries a lot. I get that from my grandma. That's how I express myself. It doesn't matter if I'm mad, sad, glad, I will cry about something. Promise you. But, and I don't like to cry with the audience. Side note. I get even more hurt and upset if I cry and I allow my tears to release in front of people wherever the setting is. I'll be like, why did you let that happen? I know I'm only human, but like, it's like, I know I'm only human, but the way how my family is, crying is like seen as a weakness. And for the longest time, I thought that it made you weak or whatever, until I started, actively embarking on this healing journey. And my therapist, the different ones I've had at the different, stages of life, are like, girl, no. You're human. You're expressing emotions. I'd rather you release them than keep internalizing everything until the point of you exploding and not having any emotional regulation. Rather, like, just exploding on everyone instead of, like, releasing the emotion, finding the root, finding what potentially triggered you into that series of emotions or that one big emotion. And yeah, guys, my depression, I don't even know how to explain it. And for those of y'all who see those like tweets or threads where it's like, how do you explain something to somebody when you don't even understand it yourself? Or like, how do you explain something to somebody who doesn't struggle with it every day for multiple years? Like, I felt that heavily, because it's like, how can I explain to y'all repeatedly that I feel like sometimes, not all the time, but it fluctuates on and off. I constantly go between feeling great, feeling on top of the world, feeling like I've been checking things off my list, I've been making accomplishments, I've been reaching accolades, God has continued to bless me, blessed and highly favored, always like taking me to the next step, to damn, I'm behind. And I feel like I'm falling into this deep abyss of despair and sadness, and just reflecting over the negative aspects of my life and being highly critical of myself and scrutinizing myself and my life decisions on certain parts and certain actions, and me like reciprocating people's negative and nasty energy and retaliating as people, when I know inside, deep down, I know my heart big as fuck, very genuine to the core. Not perfect, but I'm very genuine, and I don't have any hidden motives, ulterior motives. I don't move off of favors or move off of being an opportunist or wanting something or using people. Like, no, like, anything that's done for me, I appreciate it 10 times over, 100 times over, actually. Very grateful, because I know that people don't have to assist you, and I'm somebody that I also struggle with accepting help, because I'm very hyper independent. I don't like to accept help. Even when my grandparents are like, oh, let me send you this, I just feel extremely guilty, because it's like, yo, I'm almost 30. I don't want to receive help. I should be the one providing the help, because you guys already raised me, type of thing. And it's like, yes, I understand everybody's life path is different. There's no timeline to life. It took me a while to learn this and stop feeling so rushed with, the progression and elevation of my life and seeing improvement. But it's hard not to be your biggest, I don't want to say like, I didn't want to say hater, not necessarily your own biggest hater, but like, we are most critical of ourselves, and we're going to be the people that are always critiquing every aspect of our life, especially if you're chasing peace and positivity and you're trying to better yourself each day, and you're genuinely trying to change for the better. You're not just saying that, you're being about it. You're doing the shadow work behind the scenes. You're reading your Bible. You're getting closer to God. You're not giving into these worldly things, and you're not like paying attention to other, unhealed people walking around fighting demons, and just letting the demons win every day because they're engaging in negativity and evil spirited stuff every day. And it's like, I'm not perfect. There's been so many times this year where I've accepted so many different forms of disrespect, verbal disrespect, physical disrespect, any type of fucking disrespect under the sun, and I've retaliated with my words. Not some of my proudest moments, but it's like I'm only human and I'm not a punching bag. You can only say so much before you get a reaction out of me. And I feel like the only people who can get the biggest and quickest reaction out of me are family members. I have a lot of toxic family members, a lot of narcissists in my family, both extended, immediate. A lot of people who refuse to do the inner work. Like, it's just like, well, that's just how I am, or, oh, that's just how she is, and that's just how he is. Like, it's not an excuse. At your overgrown ass age, your big ass age, it doesn't matter if you're young or old. You have the conscious decision to stay the same or change for the better every single day. Every 24 hours is a reset. If you're blessed to wake up with breath in your body and movement in your limbs, that is a chance for you to do better and be better. So I really don't understand that bullshit, and I don't accept that bullshit at all of, this is just how that person is. Do better. Be better. Period. The fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, I don't know, man. And yeah, but back to what I was saying. The high functioning depression girly on this side has been going through the motions, as we all do, during and after Mercury retrograde, and even sometimes before. And it's just like, I just learned to, or I'm still actively trying to learn to let go and let God, and simply just stop getting upset at things out of my control. That's something that's very difficult for me to do, but I am working on it actively, 100%. But I'm still blessed. Things could be worse. There are times in my life where I was homeless. There's times in my life where I didn't know where money was going to come from or how I was going to provide for myself, and just praying to God to give me any job quickly as possible, whether it's weekly or bi-weekly, part-time or full-time. There are times in my life where it's like, am I even capable of getting a master's degree? And now I'm in a master's program, 15 out of 30 credits, halfway there, by the grace of God, and my own consistency and dedication and being diligent and being disciplined, being responsible with assignments and timeliness, time management. So it's like, even though this season is hurting me really bad right now, like mentally, spiritually, and physically, with these metal rods in my back, spinal fusion girly, stand up, scoliosis girly, stand up, but I'm gonna keep pushing because I want to see how good it can get. You know that saying where they're like, Lord, show me how good it can get? That's exactly the season I'm entering. Like, God, show me how good it can get, Lord. I thank you for the bad times, the trials and the tribulations, and all the tests, as much as the good times. I apologize for the times that I fall short. I apologize for the times where I may have failed the test and it's been a repeated lesson after lesson. I pray that you open my mind, give me the knowledge, the wisdom, the maturity to be able to pass the test the next time it's presented to me and given to me. I ask you that you take away any spirit of just loneliness, spirit of constant depression, spirit of just feeling inadequacy rather. Take all those spirits out of me and just create me in your image, and just allow me to be my loving self that I know that I am, and stop moving off of trauma and shit. Real talk. I also am a firm believer of come as you are. Like, when I'm talking to God, there's nothing off limits. Like, I talk to him raw and uncut. Sometimes the conversation may not have cuss words, sometimes it does. And some of y'all overly radical Christians, because I call myself a believer now, because I really cannot get jiggy with the ideology that a lot of Christians push. A lot of you guys, I'm not going to say all of them, push hatred and judgment, yet God is the only one that can judge, right? A lot of you guys cast people out, condemn them, when you don't even have that jurisdiction, and then it's like, you yourself are imperfect. So who are you to tell me I'm damned for hell? How do you know you're not damned for hell for the sins and transgressions that you have committed while on this earth? Nobody knows what God is going to forgive, and nobody knows what God is going to immediately be like, get out my presence. Nobody knows. Not even the bishops, not even the pastors, clergymen, clergywomen, nobody knows. So how about you just hush up and focus on living right within for you, and not just putting on this performative act every Sunday. I just want y'all to know, going to church every Sunday does not mean you're saved, because some of the most genuine, kind-hearted people who do not gossip whatsoever and who are not judgmental whatsoever, the majority of those people in my life who I met don't go to church every Sunday. They either believe, some of them don't believe, and I still pray for those people that they will believe one day and they have their own testimonies that cause them to believe. But they're the ones that have the tattoos and who have been to jail before and who have had hardships in life and who can keep it real, be transparent, be unapologetically themselves rather, and be authentically themselves, are the ones who truly, truly are good people through and through. And they don't just act like they are online. Like, they're good behind closed doors in front of people. They've admitted with the times where they've fallen short. They can admit that they too are imperfect, and sometimes they may have a moment. They may backtrack on their healing journey, because healing is so not linear. It fluctuates. It has its highs and its lows. But those type of people that can keep it real and understand, like, yo, healing not healed, it can get real fucking fast. Those are the ones that are my type of people. Those are the people that are meant to be in my soul tribe, because I can't stand performative ass bullshit. I cannot. I know how to take accountability. I know that I've been the villain in some people's story, and I know that I've been an angel in some people's story, and vice versa of people towards me. Nobody is perfect in anybody's story. You could be a great person through and through, but somebody somewhere down the line, whether it's a past relationship, whether platonic, romantic, familial, whether it's something that happened with a person in passing or whatever stage of life you knew them at, you can't be perfect in everybody's story. As for myself, I let people run with whatever narrative they want, because before I used to be like, oh no, I gotta let this person know that's not what the fuck it is, this, down, the third, blah, 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 always trying to defend your name. But I realized, when you know your character, you don't give a fuck about your reputation. It's quite literally that simple. Why do we care so much about what mankind thinks when mankind is imperfect and they have their own things going on in life? Like, everybody has something going on. Nobody is perfect except for Jesus Christ, who died for our sins on the cross. If you're not that man that died on the cross in Nazareth, I don't want to hear shit. Because, sorry y'all, something in my eye. But it's simply because if everybody would just focus on moving out of love instead of moving out of hate, life could be so much more bearable and enjoyable. Like, I don't understand how feelings of hatred are bred, because I can strongly dislike things and strongly dislike, like, somebody's demeanor, you know, the actions and behaviors that they showcase, but to actually hate them at the root is diabolical and crazy as fuck. Do you know how much energy it takes to hate? Do you know how many wrinkles and fine lines you would have everywhere besides us working this new age slavery in corporate America? But do you know how many fine lines and wrinkles you would have from just being negative every day, frowned up, hating, looking at somebody's page like this? What the fuck? I know y'all saw that. But do you know how much energy that requires? Whereas you could just be positive and put a positive spin on it. Even if somebody disrespects me, I'm learning, like, what can we do instead of matching energy? What do they not expect you to do? They don't expect you to not respond. Let's do that. It takes great strength to showcase restraint in situations where somebody is intentionally trying to provoke you. I don't want to be quick to anger. I want to be slow to anger. That's something I've really been focusing on these next few stages of my life, because I just feel like I said previously, as I previously aforementioned, like, I constantly feel like I'm moving out of trauma, moving out of hurt, and I don't want to do that anymore. And that's why I've taken a hard pause on dating, because I feel like to date someone else, sorry y'all, there's a bus passing by, but to date someone else, you don't have to be 100% healed, but you do need to have a high level of emotional regulation and emotional intelligence. Not a mid-level, not a low level, like a high level of both. Both go hand in hand. And even though I have some of both, I don't think I'm at the level to where I could healthily coexist with somebody else's adult daughter. And that's okay to admit. Like, I'm still growing. I'm still in the healing phase until I truly, truly let go of the things that have hurt me in childhood, adolescent stages, even adulthood. Until I truly let those things go, those pains and those transgressions, I have no business trying to court anyone at this stage of life. But it's like I'm gonna be very patient. Like obviously I'm beautiful, like obviously I'm pretty. May not be on your standards. I may not be considered a bad bitch because I don't wear the bust downs or the braids and all this, that, and the third, but I'm still beautiful. We all beautiful as fuck to somebody, ugly as fuck to somebody. At the end of the day, who God is meant to be for me will find me when I'm ready to receive them. I'm a firm believer of that. Divine timing, 100%. All them other times when I was trying to find an apartment in Maryland and it wasn't meant to be, I prayed, I fasted, and God was like, your time is now, and it's in North Carolina. Sometimes it's not what you want, it's what you need type shit. But to everybody who's battling seasonal depression, who's battling whether it's high functioning depression, just major depressive disorder, however the depression shows up for you. I don't know what happened at this point, gang. Audio went out. I don't know if I put an AirPod in or if a call came through, but y'all get the gist. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down. You just have to take care of yourself and make sure you're not pouring into the cup of others more than your own. Make sure you're prioritizing yourself. It is okay to have healthy levels of selfishness. Peace, love, and blessings.